Good morning. Good morning. It's good to be back after our several and unexpected adventures. As you probably have noticed by now, we've started a new series called Epic Living in History. And it's about how our little stories, the stories of our life, have a place in God's big story. Two of the adventures of the last couple of months have been us keeping vigil by first one mom and then the other. In July, my mom went to be with Jesus and we celebrated her life. We looked back over the story of her life with some things to celebrate and some things to grieve. And then in September, we spent time with Jeff's mom, fully expecting to have another send-off, to see her off as well, but she surprised us and she's still with us. We're so thankful for the time that we had with her. Her story is not over yet. Both of these situations gave us plenty of opportunity to think back about our own lives, with some things to celebrate and some things to grieve. Since the fall, and I don't mean the beautiful autumn that we see around us, I mean the fall of humankind in Genesis, since then, the peace and the trust and the love which were God's original plan for us, have been broken. They were broken because humans believed the lie that breaking free of God would somehow fulfill our desires. And this has led to all kinds of heartache and grief. With trust broken, relationships are difficult. Trust has been replaced with shame and blaming and finger pointing and fear. And I think we can all relate to being at both ends of that scenario. These are things that we grieve as we look back over our lives. But also since then, God has been up to something. He's up to a great rescue mission. He is up to providing the answer to our greatest problems and our deepest longings. As has been mentioned each week of this new series, there are 5 threads running through history in the Bible. I'm not going to review them for you, though, because Jeff is going to do that. I'm just going to tell you a little story about the third unexpected adventure I had over the last couple of months, which was getting COVID. In the early days of COVID, I slept almost nonstop for over 48 hours, and I had some very interesting dreams. In one of these, I was with a group of people who were singing worship songs. This is right now where I wish I had got more sleep last night. Singing worship songs, and for the last song, the leader motioned that we should stand up and raise our hands. And that was surprising because this was a group of people who don't normally do that. That's what I mean about this dream being so interesting. They also sang without accompaniment, and they sang old hymns. So for this final song, we were all standing and raising our hands and singing. Yeah, see, if I had enough sleep, I would be able to say this without crying. And they were singing an old hymn of praise to Jesus, exalting Jesus, and it was amazing. So in the morning, I asked God what that hymn was, because I really wanted to remember. And I don't know for sure that this was the hymn from my dream, but the hymn that came to my mind was, Jesus, what a friend for sinners. All the stories that we've looked at so far, and all the stories that we're going to look at for the rest of this year-long series, are full of broken people who need a hero. We are not the heroes in God's big story. We need a hero. And all of these stories show clearly that God is the hero. Amen. We get to spend our lives walking with him and pointing others to him, other people who also need a hero. And we get to sing praises to Jesus, the friend of sinners.